I was working on some more commentary for you all this week. Tamar came across my desk, and so I definitely want to discuss what LaTroy, her ex-manager, had to say about her. Interesting, because I was wondering what happened to LaTroy. Why did he stop speaking out? But now we know. There's a cease and desist that was sent by Tamar's Prince Charming, aka Malibu's most wanted fiance. My name is Tink Marshae. I cover a variety of topics, things that I'm passionate about, trending topics, celebrity news and gossip. If you could, please hit the subscribe button so you can join the team. We are 12,000 strong. Importantly, hit that like button so that the views can match the like. Y'all, it's not the same videos that you're seeing floating around of LaTroy venting his frustrations. And if you have seen this, I want you to pay attention to what he's saying in this clip, because I feel like this is the most important part of his speech.
Vince was there. I don't give a damn. Y'all talking about I'm not a real friend. Anybody that knows, let me get y'all straight right quick. When she was in the hospital for, what was that, 2 or 3 weeks when she got her wig removed, I was the only person that went and visited her every day. Vince was there. Vince would not leave her side. But when I would come, that was the only time Vince would leave, because Vince trusted me because he knew I had her back. Every day after working my job at Sony Pictures, since she wants to act like she gave me my career when she didn't, I would go visit her ass in a fucking hospital. Every single day. And you want to sit here and you want to lie on me? You was in Big Brother. You didn't have contact with anybody. I went to your house every single day to check on your family. Every day. Every day. Every single day. Nobody else came. It was only me. And you're going to lie on me and lie on my business and how I eat? You're a terrible person. You are a terrible person. And I hope that you know that. I hope you know that. I held you down when nobody else did. You're a fucking terrible person.
This is just not a good year for Tamar Braxton. Dad used to tell me all the time, you never talk bad about a person without lending them a hand up. And I am going to do that, or attempt to, towards the end of this video. Because she is a part of my community, I feel compelled to talk about the things that she messed up on and how she can right her wrongs. I just feel like us as a Black community can hold each other accountable without keeping our foots on each other's neck. So we heard the emotions in LaTroy's voice, but I'm noticing a lot of people are saying the same things, that he should keep these things behind closed doors, that he shouldn't address this publicly. This is a private situation. Listen, did we or did we not just see Tamar hit record and respond to Jesse? Here it is, a friend of 10 years, her manager, somebody that loved her, okay? Because we know that LaTroy was around for some years because of the show. Vince and Tamar and Vince. Because it's him, we're not supposed to allow him the space and time and opportunity to speak up for himself and his business at that. So I remind y'all, LaTroy only spoke out because of the situation with Christian Rock, and he was actually in defense of James. And Tamar got upset because he spoke publicly and hit him with a cease and desist. Then began to say things like he was never over her tour, that she did this by herself, which I found that very interesting. Been keeping up with Tamar long enough, you know who's in her circle, right? Because you'll see them often at her house or events. She would do reality TV. We would see those familiar faces, such as James and a LaTroy. I remember vividly, I could be wrong, but I remember a scene when Tamar was talking crazy about Vince when she thought he had walked around the corner. She was sitting down having drinks with, what was his name? His name was LaShawn. So they were all having drinks, if I can remember clearly, all sitting around, just to get to the point. And around this time, I believe Vince was having issues with blood clots or something like that. And he overheard Tamar talking stuff about the fact that she felt like Vince was jealous of her because she could have a cocktail or two and he had to change his diet. I may be mixing up some scenes, but I do remember a time when he got mad at her because she invited some of her friends on their trip. And I want to say one of those friends was LaTroy, but y'all can correct me in the comments. Things that LaTroy pointed out that I thought was very interesting. Thing that's obvious and should be obvious at this point is the fact that he said things was getting back to him that Tamar had said, one being that she was not getting paid on her tour based off of a certain somebody. which would be him. It's important to note that LaTroy quit shortly after the James situation. His rebuttal to Tamar Braxton was, why did you add 5 more shows if I was the reason that you weren't making any money? This was one of the things that I believe I addressed in my last video about Tamar and her tour when the Krishan thing broke out. Not this very last video, but I said, I find it so hard to believe that LaTroy wasn't the one that put the tour together because he was the one promoting everything. I mean, he still had posts up during this Krishan and James debacle of flyers that he was posting and promoting for Tamar. She was in his comments congratulating him way before the tour actually popped off, congratulating and thanking him, but then she unfollowed him. She stopped giving this man his credit after he worked his butt off, per his words and per her comments. He worked his butt off to get Tamar back in the limelight as far as touring. The second thing that I found very interesting is the fact that she hit him with a cease and desist thanks to her fiance. What was the reason of that? He was in defense of you. Why would you hit somebody with a cease and desist unless you had something to hide? Now, I was one of the few content creators that was saying that Tamar didn't really need Krishan Rock for promotional purposes. I felt like she didn't anyway. I'm beginning to think a little bit differently. Still a little bit confused about that, but what's done in the dark will come to the light. Things said in this video is my own opinions, thoughts, and viewpoints. It is subject to change at a later time, but as of today, feeling like something ain't right. Why would you hit somebody with a cease and desist that was taken up for you? Just doesn't make sense. Makes me wonder, is that the reason why we haven't heard from Jessie Woo? There is something that I found out about Jessie Woo. Doesn't change my opinions about the Tamar and Jessie Woo situation, but it's worth noting. I'll get around to that, but back to LaTroy. So he continues and says that he had to sell some footage of Tamar to make $5,000. And I wonder if he had to sell it because, you know, when he quit about 2 months ago, he was saying that he was not getting paid. You just can't stop paying people because you're mad at them. Business is business. Attention on what he said, there's a lot of people that's around Tamar that's smooching, including her fiance. I feel like Tamar consistently checks everybody but this man. My predictions is this: when a well runs dry, that man is going to haul ass and he's going to run to the nearest news station, damn Dish Nation. He's going to run to a Vlad TV, a Tasha K, to tell it all about Tamar Braxton. Speaking of him telling her business on Mad Day, remember when Tommy Lee said this?
The singer with the sold out tour that JR also told me was flex. It was cap. It was she flexing. She don't have no soul. That shit between me and you was his exact words. The tour not sold out. He said you was messy. He said you went back to your mother's house. He told me a lot of things that he shouldn't tell.
Which one is it? Are you sold out or are you not making enough money? And now this is coming from your man's lips to another woman's ear. He exposed you. So why don't you hit him with a cease and desist? I feel like your fiance actually confirmed that for us, that you're not making enough money. You're making some money, but not enough. One thing we know is Tamar do not play about her money. So I'm sure she feels like she was short somewhere, although she's selling out. So maybe, in fact, she does, look at the numbers and she is sold out, but she's not getting the money that she rightfully deserves. Per LaTroy's words, he said that Tamar was making way more than she was making at Dish Nation. He also stated that she needed to check with her manager because he was just in charge of landing deals. He also stated that she could downsize a bit by taking some dancers away. Along with some of the musicians that was on stage, he felt like maybe that was contributing to her not seeing money that she expected from touring. In my mind, I'm thinking she wasn't saying all this when she was with LaTroy. Now all of a sudden he's gone and you're not making the money that you expected to make? Yeah, again, misdirected anger. You're mad at the wrong person. Thing I'm thinking, y'all, is how are you sitting around talking about him and you haven't even paid him his money per his word? Tamar needs to check her circle. Stop biting the hand that feeds you. Always say this, you never know when you might need a person. So watch how you treat that person during y'all spats, your ups and downs, your disagreements, because you just never know. The thing that LaTroy said is that he could air her out and end her. I'm paraphrasing, okay? He said he could expose all the lies and end Tamar. The first thing that I thought about was the insurance claim when she got robbed, right? When she said that she got robbed outside of her mom's house. I don't think there was a real follow-up behind that situation, but I always found that really weird. Saying she's committing insurance fraud, but we do know that her fiance is a lawyer. Also know that he is now in charge of her legal work because LaTroy confirmed that he was sent a cease and desist from what he calls Malibu's Most Wanted, which is Jermey Robinson. Knowing that this industry is small, it's very naive of Tamar to sit around the very people that he connected her with, possibly, and badmouthed him, but then proceed to hit him with a cease and desist so he can't talk publicly about what's happening behind the scenes with her. He challenged them to take him to court so that there would be a discovery process so he can tell it all. As we know, if they take him to court, there will be a discovery process in which all things will be revealed. If I was Tamar, I wouldn't take that chance. But I do wonder who's next. Will it be Dish Nation on the hit list next? Because I got a feeling it's going to be them that you're going to have a problem with, in my opinion. Moving on to Jessie Woo. 3 years ago, y'all, Tasha K's ex-social media manager, Chelsea, posted some audio voice recordings of Cardi B and Jessie Woo. Around the time Cardi B was announcing her pregnancy, and Jessie Woo had made some statements about Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Now, Chelsea got those voice recordings and it's posted to her YouTube right now. Because it's on this platform, I cannot share it, but I will post it in my description box so you guys can go back and hear it. Cardi B checked Jessie because she felt like Jessie was out of line for mentioning her name or talking about her beef with Nicki Minaj. Jessie Woo was trying to convince Cardi B that she was not talking badly about her. She was asked about how she felt about the industry for women, and she used Nicki Minaj and Cardi B as an example to say that the industry will literally pit artists against each other. Time before this interview dropped, Jessie Woo confirmed in these voice messages that she had reached out to Cardi B to help her get out of a contract, something similar to what Cardi B had to go through, so she would never do her like that. Needless to say, Cardi B was not trying to hear it. She felt like Jessie Woo was just trying to throw people under the bus. It was about a day ago that I ran across these voice recordings. So I really encourage you guys to go and review them for yourself, or just type it into Google and it'll pull up the full article on how Cardi B blasts Jessie Woo. Cardi B wanted Jessie Woo to publicly apologize to her for even mentioning her name and Nicki Minaj in the same sentence, seeing that things were a bit heated between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. And she consistently said that she felt like Jessie Woo was lying. Jessie didn't have no problem doing that, but I began to think, well, damn, Jessie, are you messy? Because we know Tamar said that she felt like everything was cool between her and Jessie Woo, but that's the same thing Cardi B was saying. Well, that's the vibe it gave me. And I told y'all, I watch people's patterns. And what Cardi B consistently said is this came out of nowhere. Like, why would you do something like this on a day where I was supposed to be full of bliss? Now, I know and understand that Jessie Woo is still healing from getting her teeth pulled. She said she got 7 teeth pulled. I had been waiting on her to respond because she said she would. But now I'm thinking, were you just bringing this up on us for a clout, maybe? Or did Tamar hit you with a cease and desist? Or were you just being messy? That still don't negate the fact that Tamar is messy too. So you are who you hang around. Still stand on the fact that Tamar shouldn't have texted her threatening her friend, her, whomever behind JR. In my opinion, it showed bad character on Tamar's part when it comes to men especially. So for that hand up, in my opinion, I feel like all of the Braxton sisters have had some bad press one way or another. So Tamar, I honestly feel like it's the company you keep. It's chaos, confusion. I feel like maybe you have some energy vampires around you that's really just riding your coattail. I mean, LaTroy also stated that you were paying for a lot of your mentors drinks and food and travel. And I'm sure you're doing the same for JR. If things get too bad, I honestly believe I think would respect you more if you just stand on it. Because at this point, I don't see anything getting better. I see it getting worse from here. I think also you should pay attention to JR's patterns, in my opinion, especially when it came to relationships. What kind of dad is he? Was he a great partner? What broke him up from his last partner? I honestly think he's going to be your biggest downfall. He's going to be your biggest disappointment of 2024. Most importantly, please don't think that everybody is envious or jealous of your relationship, because I believe that's the furthest thing from the truth. You have fallen out with your friends. Let it be between you and your friends. Don't let it be because your fiance had a say in it. I don't think that's right, because at the end of the day, your friends was there first. Now, if they're overstepping their boundaries when it comes to your relationship, of course, but I think LaTroy honestly really, really loved you. But even his love for you can turn into bitterness. Although he's under a cease and desist, there may be other people that you've talked about, thrown under the bus. Just suggest that you get it right now. Meantime, I want to hear from y'all. I'll see y'all in the comments. Tell me what you think about this Tamar situation with LaTroy.